Visas Starfrost enters into a new archetype called Manadome, finding the inner peace of the universe? 34% of you that have not smashed the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button, smash it so we can climb up the 100k ladder. YCS breakdown will be delayed a little bit this morning because of this news. So this theme seems to be named after Dwarf, the fifth avatar of the Vishnu, the Preserver, a god of the Hindu, and possibly Dom, Dome, or Dom. Okay, well, that's interesting to know for some lore. So we have Manadome Riumheart. There's that 1500, 2100 stat that you've kind of come to need to know after the reveals earlier today with the ability for him to gain the new power. Also take note of like the tree here and like the feel of this. This is like, he feels very enlightened now. So it's level 4 Light Warrior. If this card is in your hand during the main phase, quick effect, you can target one Manadome monster or a monster with 1500 attack, 2100 defense you control. Destroy that monster and you do special summon this card. Okay. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one Manadome card from your deck to your hand except for Riumheart. So your searcher, straight off the bat, is going to be pasted on this. And I think that that's a particularly impressive card. Now, we're going to get really weird down here in some of the lore here. These are like the fruits of the universe, so, or the fruits of whatever's going on here. Take note that there should be the Scareclaw field spell encased in this card, which is interesting. So this is a level 2 Earth Fairy Tuner. You can only special summon this card with the procedure on its first effect once per turn. So if you control a Visas Starfrost or a monster with 1500 attack and 2100 defense, you can special summon this card from your hand. Now, there's a lot to kind of unpack there, but that's pretty alright. If this card is destroyed by battle card effect, you can special summon one Manadome Heartless from your deck. Also, during the battle phase of this turn that this is activated, synchro summon monsters you control in 500 attack. Let's once again unpack this. This would be a tie-in for your Scareclaw lore in this universe, which... Okay, now you might recognize this. Manadome Meek. Oh, this is a little Tearlaments here. This is adorable. So once again, you see the Tearlaments universe. I'm not sure entirely captured in our glass ball. So you can only special summon this card with the procedure of its first effect once per turn. So control a Visas Starfrost or a monster with 1500 attack, 2100 defense. You can special summon this card from your hand. This card is destroyed by battle or card effect. You can special summon one Manadome Meek from your deck and then increase the level of the monster special summoned by this effect by 2. So it will become a level 4. Gets the ability to... I love the fact that both of these give off passive abilities to special summon the little fruits of their adventure. Maybe that's what they're supposed to be. Manadome Prime-Heart. We finally have the synchro form of this mad lad, coming in at an impressive 3,000, by the way. It's going to be one tuner plus one light monster, so not entirely too generic. This card can attack a number of times each battle phase up to the number of tuners used to make it. Oh, so it's one plus tuners plus a light monster. Oh, I see what they did there. This reminds me of X-Saber Gothams, where, you know, you can do some really weird things to make that thing. If this face-up synchro summon card leaves the field due to your opponent, you can special summon one Visas Starfrost or a monster with 1500 attack, 2100 defense from your graveyard, or among your banished monsters. Wow, this actually gives you access to the banish pile. That's kind of interesting. Next up here is Manadome Imagining. What is the lore for this, man? Like, I can't wait to possibly see them explore this a little bit more. Reveal one Manadome or Visas Starfrost in your hand. Draw 2 cards. Excuse me. We just gave Visas Starfrost a draw card? Okay, so yeah, reveal a Manadome or a Visas Starfrost in your hand, and then return 1 card from your hand to the bottom of the deck. Huh. That's pretty good. You manage to discard from your graveyard, target one monster you control with 1500 attack and 2100 defense. That monster is treated as a tuner until the end of the turn. You can only use the first 6 effects this card's name. once per turn each. Okay, so we can get that particular secondary effect, but really, you had to give Visas Starfrost, you had to give him the ability to get draw power. Konami, what are you doing here? What are you doing? I don't know, I'm very, very curious here. Manadome Abscission? What in the world is... So, the fruits are breaking apart? I'm wondering if the lights from the sky are like Scareclaw and Tear like invading? That would be an interesting possibility here. So, you can only use first fix this card's name once per turn each. Target one monster you control, destroy it. And if you do, add one Primal Planet Colorium from your deck to your hand. Or if you control a Primal Planet Colorium, you can add a Manadome spell and trap card from your deck to your hand instead. What? Manage this card from your graveyard. Special summon a Visas Starfrost for one monster with 1500 attack and defense from your hand. Okay, I mean, target a monster, destroy it. I mean, that's... I feel like that's fine, considering the level of synergy that they're trying to pull off with the tuners. I wish this was a quick play. That'd be really cool. Next up is Primal Planet Colorium. Now, if you know anything about all of these archetypes, you know that this field spell is probably going to search, and then we're probably going to rage. So this is 5th Destruction World Colorium. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn, and you can only use the third effect of this card's name per turn. When this card resolves, you can add one Manadome monster or Visas Starfrost from your deck to your hand. Every one of these damn field spells searches. At least these cards are not on the power scale of the previous. Light monsters you control gain 100 attack for each tuner monster in your graveyard. Okay. If a face-up tuners you control is destroyed by a card effect, you can target one of those monsters and special summon it. Yeah, this feels way more inherently balanced than Tier and you know what else we were doing at the crazy party dome out here. Next up is Manadome Breakheart. I want to know who this is. I have a feeling we might already be like reaching the climax of this battle or this lore, which is kind of interesting. But alright, so standard trap card here. You can only use the first second fix this card's name once per turn. So we target one tuner or one synchro monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Then if you special summon a light monster with this effect, destroy one monster your opponent controls with equal or lower attack than that monster. So it's effectively a monster reborn. Okay. If Visas Starfrost are a monsters you control with 1000 attack to 100 defense would be destroyed by a card effect, banish this card from your graveyard instead. So we got a protection clause for these guys. It's not too bad. I'll take the fact that they wanted to give this deck a monster reborn. I think that was a little bit cute at the end of the day, but is it enough? They're really pumping out the specific attack stats here. Next up is Manadome Reframing. What in the world? Well, it's a counter trap. We're off to the races, that's for sure. So you can only use the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn. When a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated while you control a synchro monster. Excuse me, what? That's when a spell, trap card, or a monster effect is activated while you control a synchro monster. Negate that activation. Then, if there's a Visas Starfrost or a monster with 1500 attack, 2100 defense in your graveyard, you can destroy that negated card. Oh my god, a synchro on the field? That's generic. Okay. And banish this card from your graveyard. Target 3 Manadome monsters in your graveyard. Return them to the deck. Huh. That's interesting. So, is this support busted as crap? No. I was kind of thinking that Cyberstorm Axis might kind of roll back the clock. Looking at like how they're setting up the lore here. But I will tell you, it is looking more and more like Visas Starfrost might be getting a structure deck after Albaz here. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised at this point to see that. So, kind of takeaways from this. It's kind of nice to see that for the first time we don't have a super busted archetype. It is kind of cool to see where they're going with this archetype, to be honest with you. Is there a chance that they could break this? I think the cards are very fair at this point, and I don't foresee something like that necessarily happening, considering the last two mistakes that they made. But I'll leave you with this thought. These cards look really cool. I like this side of the story, and yeah. See your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace out.
Patron.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.